Have you ever noticed something strange? Every time we start a new goal, we feel almost unstoppable in the beginning. We join a gym and don't miss a single workout during the first week. We start studying and spend hours with complete focus. We launch a YouTube channel and suddenly we're full of ideas. But then, something changes. The goal is still there, the dream is still there, the work is still waiting, yet the person who was once so excited slowly begins to lose momentum. And the weirdest part is that they don't even know why. Most people say it's because of a lack of discipline. Others blame low motivation. Some simply call it laziness. But if laziness were the real problem, nobody would be able to stay consistent for an entire week in the first place. Think about it. Someone who can wake up at 5 a.m. every day, why do they suddenly stop after 20 days? A student who studies consistently for 10 days, why do they suddenly lose the desire to open a book on day 11? And the most important question of all, what actually happens inside the brain that makes us force ourselves to do something we once genuinely wanted to do? The truth is, the problem isn't discipline. It isn't motivation either. The real problem is a psychological mechanism inside your brain. Once you understand it, you won't just become more consistent, you'll understand one of the biggest secrets behind human behavior and why people abandon their goals. This mechanism is so powerful that if you don't understand it, you'll keep setting new goals every year and repeating the same cycle. But if you watch this video until the end, I promise you won't need another video on this topic, because this isn't a video about motivation, it's a video about psychology. Here's something most people never realize. Your brain doesn't care about success as much as it cares about progress, and that's exactly why consistency breaks. Imagine two people. One is playing a video game, the other is studying for an important exam. Logically, studying is much more important, yet the gamer can sit there for 5 or 6 hours without getting tired, while the student starts checking their phone after 30 minutes. Why? Is the gamer more disciplined? No. Is the student just lazy? No. The difference is something else entirely. A game constantly sends your brain one message: you're making progress. Your level increases, your coins increase, your rank improves. Every few minutes, your brain gets proof that its effort is producing results. Now look at the student. They study for an hour. Nothing changes. 2 hours. Still nothing. 3 hours. And the exam is still months away. That's where the brain begins to lose interest. Why? Because the human brain doesn't live in the future. It lives in the present. It wants proof today. But goals like studying, going to the gym, building a YouTube channel, or starting a business all have something in common. Progress is happening, but it's invisible, and invisible progress feels like an invisible reward. That's why people don't always quit because the work is hard. They quit because they stop feeling like they're making progress. Once the brain stops feeling progress, it assumes nothing is happening, even when tremendous growth is taking place. Think of planting a seed. For days, maybe even weeks, nothing appears above the ground. But underneath the surface, the roots are growing stronger every single day. Real growth is happening. The problem is that the human brain doesn't like underground growth. It wants visible growth. So the question becomes, if the brain needs to feel progress, how do we make progress visible? This is where most people make their biggest mistake. They measure progress by results, and that's one of the most dangerous traps when it comes to consistency. Let's say you want to grow a YouTube channel. How do you measure success? Views? Subscribers? Revenue? Here's the problem. None of those are completely under your control. Every day, your brain receives the same message: nothing has happened yet. Students measure progress by grades. People at the gym measure progress by physical transformation. Business owners measure progress by profit, but all of those are future rewards, not present rewards. That's why you need a psychological shift. Stop tracking results, start tracking actions. This might be the most practical strategy for becoming more consistent. Instead of showing your brain where you want to end up, show it how far you've already come. A student can't control exam scores, but they can track how many pages they finished today, or how many hours they studied. A YouTuber can't control views or subscribers, but they can track how many videos they uploaded this month, or how many scripts they've completed. And that's exactly the kind of evidence your brain needs. Here's another fascinating fact. Your human brain is more motivated by momentum than success. Imagine riding a bicycle. What's the hardest part? Getting it moving. But once it's rolling, keeping it moving becomes much easier. Consistency works the same way. Your brain doesn't need huge victories. It simply needs to feel that you're moving forward, even if you're moving slowly. That's why consistent people don't chase perfection. They build visible systems. They know that the moment their brain stops seeing evidence of progress, motivation begins to fade. But if the brain receives small proof every single day, consistency starts happening naturally. Now, let's talk about the second biggest reason people lose consistency. We've all said this before, I just don't feel like it today. But if you look deeper, you'll realize something important. I don't feel like it isn't actually the reason. It's the brain's output. So why does the brain generate that feeling? Have you ever woken up and thought, I don't feel like scrolling social media today? Probably not, but you've definitely said, I don't feel like studying today. I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like editing videos. Why? Because your brain evaluates every task using two questions. First, how much effort will this require? Second, how quickly will I get rewarded? Your brain is constantly running this calculation. Now, imagine you have two choices. Option 1, watch short videos. Instant dopamine, almost zero effort. Option 2, study for 2 hours. Work out for 2 hours. Edit videos for 2 hours. High effort, rewards that may not appear in months. From your brain's perspective, which option looks more attractive? Obviously, the first one. Because your brain cannot directly experience the future. It can only experience the present. Your future successful self isn't real to your brain. Today's comfort is, so your brain keeps choosing present comfort over future rewards. So when you think, I don't feel like it today, what's actually happening is your brain is trying to protect you from effort, but you mistake that signal for reality. It's not reality, it's just a signal. So how do you overcome it? Most people play the wrong game. They think consistency means forcing yourself every day, fighting your feelings, looking for motivation. But consistent people do something completely different. They make decisions before their emotions get involved. Let's say you're planning to go to the gym tomorrow morning. Most people wake up and ask themselves, should I go today? Am I in the mood? And remember what we said earlier. Whenever you give your brain options, it will almost always choose the comfortable one, because your brain prioritizes present comfort, not future success. So stop giving it options, give it actions. If you're going to the gym, decide the night before. If you're studying, the study time is already scheduled. If you're editing videos, that time block is already reserved. So when it's time to act, the brain doesn't have to decide, it only has to execute. Many times, consistency doesn't fail because of effort. It fails because of repeated decision-making. We keep making the same decisions every single day, and every single day, the brain argues in favor of comfort. But the moment you start locking in your important decisions ahead of time, the sentence, I don't feel like it today, loses half its power. Because you're no longer deciding, you're simply following a decision you've already made. And that's the real secret of consistency. Make your important actions so non-negotiable that you stop debating them every day. Remember this, the day you learn to see your progress and the day you learn to lock in your important decisions ahead of time, consistency stops being a motivation game. It becomes a systems game, and systems are what truly consistent people rely on. If anything in this video is still unclear, or if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer every one of them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself.